everybody, my name's Renee and this is my cash stuffing journey. If you're new here, thank you so much for taking a chance and clicking on my video. I hope you decide to like, subscribe and stick around for a while, and if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for your ongoing support. Welcome to my budget bootcamp. This is going to be the first video in a series I'm going to call Budget Bootcamp. So basically we are going to go back to the very beginning. We're going to go through it step by step, and I think if you are new to the cash stuffing community, this might be a really good process for you. It can also be for people who have become comfortable and complacent in their budgeting, to give it a whole big revamp, which is what I'm doing, because I got so sick and tired of paying all of our bills and then have nothing left and nothing to show for it really. So I thought, well, let's go back to the beginning and see what's going on. And to say I was shocked and kind of disgusted in some aspects is an understatement. Now quickly, before we get into the budget bootcamp, my weekly cash stuffing of my high and low priority envelopes is just going to be on hold, hopefully just for the next 2 weeks, and then it'll kickstart again once I've kind of settled everything out. I'm not sure how it's going to change or when it's going to change. So the only thing I'm cash stuffing this week is my home deposit, and that's because I do that electronically. So I'm going to pull this out now. I've got 3,100 and 200. So I'm putting in 400 because this is covering 2 weeks. So I'm going to put the 500 in and take 100 out. So we've now got 300, 305, 3,600 now home deposit. So none of my other envelopes are getting cash stuffed right now. Hopefully, like I said, I can do that in 2 weeks. I am due to finish some savings challenges, and some of them will go towards this, so there will be a form of a cash stuffing. I'm just not sure when. Okay, back to Budget Bootcamp. So I thought there's quite a few new people at the moment, so I thought, how about I just give you a rundown of who I am, give you a little bit of a snapshot of my journey so far, and then I will get into the first step of the budget breakdown. I started this cash stuffing journey it was around Easter of 2021 when I realized that we needed to make a change. We had to wait until it was payday to go down to get the kids the Easter stuff, and of course that always falls on the day before Easter, and by the time we got there, there was hardly anything there. There was hardly anything, like maybe one bag of eggs, and I think we couldn't even get them a big Easter bunny. Like, it was really bad, and I told myself then and there that it would never happen again, because when I was growing up, we were poor. We were in that kind of situation where my parents owned a home, but it basically bankrupted us. By the time they paid the mortgage, like there was nothing left. So I often saw them scrimping and saving and really sacrificing so that me and my brother could have what we needed. Not always what we wanted, but what we needed. And I always told myself when I was younger that I would never let that happen. So I was gonna work hard, I was gonna get a good education, I was gonna get a good job, and then my family would never experience that. And then literally 10 years, 15 years later, I'm in that exact same spot, not being able to get my kids anything for Easter, and being in that pit of debt and just financial insecurity. And it was just, I swore never again. And so I started my cash stuffing journey in August of 2021. I had been researching ways to improve my financial situation, and I stumbled upon a Pink X budget video on her cash stuffing videos and fell down a rabbit hole for a few months. And I'm like, you know what, I can start this. I mean, what have I got to lose? I'm already broke. So I started in August and I failed. I was trying to build my budget on what I was seeing online, and I felt like I had to cash off a certain amount of money, and it wasn't working. We constantly have to go into our envelopes and pull money out, which is what we're finding ourselves in now, which is kickstarting this whole thing. But I was constantly pulling money out of our envelopes and having to start again, and it was defeating, and it made me feel worse, to be honest. So I mean, I almost quit. And then I was kind of sitting there. I was sitting here one day thinking about what bills I had to pay and what money could be used and what bills could be shuffled to next fortnight. And I realized that I had to make the cash stuffing budget system work for me. I shouldn't be working for the system. So I sat down and I looked truly at what we could afford to cash stuff each fortnight. And that's how I started. I started with envelopes I had made on my own. It was rough. I started my cash stuffing journey in August, and I was filming in October. So my very first videos are very close to when I started. And you've also got to take into account that for a couple of fortnights I actually failed. So those weren't recorded. So when I restarted the journey again, that was really kind of when I started. And then the more I stuck with it, the better it got. It gave me the confidence, seeing that money tick over gave me the confidence to start filming. And then once I started filming, I started my small business, and it just snowballed from there. And it has been one of the best decisions that we have ever made. I mean, is money still tight? Yeah, and now that the cost of living crisis we're going in right now, it's even worse. I'm lucky that I am on a decent wage, so we were able to absorb that increase. But at the moment, we're stretched thin. So if it goes up much more, like, we're really going to be struggling. And I really feel for everyone out there who is really struggling right now. If you have any issues in regards to food, please reach out to your local food banks. They are out there. I mean, I know there's some videos circulating of people not liking the food, but when you're hungry, food is food. It may not be the most balanced diet, but it'll be filling and it's warm, and you won't go to bed hungry, and neither will your babies. So that's my thought on that. So yeah, my journey just went from there. It's allowed us to have savings. It's allowed us to save for a home, for a deposit for a home. It has saved us. One of the most important things that I feel that we have been able to save for is for weekends away and being able to enjoy experiences with our kids. That's been the biggest thing. Like, we've been able to go and see Ramses II, which is an Egyptian pharaoh exhibit in the Australian Museum in Sydney. We have been able to go and see a Jurassic World exhibit with dinosaurs. What else have we done? Oh, we've done so much. I'm trying to think of what else we've kind of done. We went and had an owl experience. Like, the list goes on, and we've even got things planned already. Like, we're going to see the Lego exhibit, like, in our town. We're going to probably the Easter show. Like, it's just allowed us to do so much with our kids, and those are the things that are priceless, those memories that we're building. But over the last few weeks, I have noticed that things are getting tighter and tighter and tighter, and I needed to find out why. So I am introducing Budget Bootcamp. Budget Bootcamp is going to be a step-by-step guide on how to start your cash stuffing journey. We are going to go through the fundamentals. We're going to go through how to start. We're even going to go through terms that you might be hearing quite often in cash stuffing videos, and you may not understand what they all mean, and it can impact how you budget. We are going to go through the process of picking your categories, picking your envelopes, what kind of budgeting system you would like, whether it be a budget binder, whether it be an envelope, whether it be a box. We are going to go through things like some savings challenges and all of that kind of stuff. So I'm hoping that by doing this, we are going to go on this journey together, and hopefully I can clean up my budget a little bit. Now, step one is you need to know where your money is going. So this will help you determine if you've got an income problem, which means you're not earning enough, or if you've got a spending problem, which means you earn enough but you're spending too much, or it might be a little bit of both. You might be overspending, but even then you still need more income. So that's going to help us really, really focus on that. So what I did is I pulled 3 months of my bank statement. So I did this online, or you can print them off and highlight them, which is what I would prefer, but I didn't have the time at that point. So I just did it all a quick snapshot online. And you need to go through one line by one line, and you need to find out where your money is going. So what I did is I went down the list. I started off at, say for example, it was rent. So then I would go through and find all the rent payments and add them all up. And then, for example, say the next line was groceries. Then I would go through and look for all the grocery stores and add that up. And then say the third line was a subscription. Then I'd go through and check my calendar for all my subscriptions. And I basically, just by the time I got to like the 6th line, I was pretty much had gone through the whole thing. And this is what I discovered. Now, essential expenses. So our rent was $5,280. Our phone and internet was $645. And our utilities, so our gas and electricity, was $2,100. So I don't know where I got this 3,273. It must have been like a miss. I bet it's meant to be an 8. Yeah, that's meant to be an 8. I don't know where I got the wrong number from. So in total, it's around $8,273. Now, there is a little bit of a disparity. I don't know why. I don't really have time to sit down and like really figure it out. So my essential expenses, so they are the things that I need to basically live in a home. So that's my shelter. So rent, phone and internet and utilities, $8,273 in a 3-month period. So debt payments. So this is the next thing that I have to pay. I don't really have a choice unless I want it going to collections and all of that hassle. And because we're wanting to buy a home, this is a very high priority for us. So Zip Pay, I paid $700. Credit card, $700. And are you ready for one of the disgusting numbers? On Afterpay, in 3 months, we paid $6,729. How is that even possible when you think about it? Now, am I shocked by that amount? Absolutely. Absolutely. Am I really ashamed of it? No, because I also need to take into consideration that there was Christmas in that, there was William's birthday in that, and then there's getting ready for Evelyn's birthday. Does that excuse it? Not really, but it explains why it's so high. So that is something that we are really going to have to, because we use Afterpay to buy big ticket items that we need kind of urgently. So for like example, Christmas came up and slammed into us so hard that we were not prepared. We weren't prepared. And I'm changing that now already, so that next year, like this year, there will be no Afterpay for Christmas. So for Christmas, because that was a big one for us, what I'm doing is every fortnight I am buying my kids each 2 things for Christmas, 1 or 2 things for Christmas, and 1 thing for their birthday. So by the time that Christmas rolls around, they will have at least 26 gifts, because each fortnight I get one. It's 26 fortnights in a year. So it could be maybe an outfit one fortnight, it could be a toy the next, it could be a gift card. But either way, that's how I'm going to do it, and we'll see how it goes this year. So in total for debt payments, I paid $8,130 in debt payments in 3 months. That's an average of $1,100 a fortnight I am paying in debt. Like, that is ridiculous. Now imagine if I was able to put my $200 that I'm paying on my deposit on top of that, which would make it $1,364, and imagine if I was pouring that into our deposit. So let's just, for the sake of it, so $1,364 $464, times that by, say I do it every fortnight, is 26. That's $35,000 just from cutting off our debt. So that is $10,000 more than the deposit we need. And that's just from a year of saving our debt deposits. Like, that's what I mean about going through your monthly expenses. It can be eye-opening. It can be shocking. It can be brutal. I'm telling you, like, I kind of sat back when I had done, and I'm like, what the fudge sticks? Like, what the fudge? Like, I thought that I was pretty good for money in the last 2 years. I thought that I was doing really well with managing money. Obviously not if I'm paying $1,164 a fortnight on debt. It's ridiculous. So, daily living expenses. So, this is groceries and subscriptions. So, for groceries, we spent $3,482 on groceries. And subscriptions, we spent $413. Now, the thing with subscriptions, a lot of them for me are for work. So, they're either for my Just Roll It in Glitter, so things like Canva. I have a YouTube subscription because I watch a lot of YouTube, and like the whole family utilizes that. We get the family package. Things like Cricut, my Cricut subscription, I can use that all for my business. The same with my actual job. I work in disability, so I utilize a lot of subscriptions, things like Canva, Twinkle, which is one that teachers utilize a lot for a lot of resources. We've got Plex, which is our home media system, and then the only streaming services we have is Disney Plus, and that comes with our and then we also get Prime Video, but that comes with our Prime subscription. So yeah, which I'd actually forgotten to add in, because I pay that annually, so I'm not really sure if that counts. But anyway, so there's only kind of 2 of them that I could really get rid of, and that's Amazon Kindle Unlimited and Amazon Audible. Kindle Unlimited, I devour books. Like, I mean, like one a day. I can easily go through 300 books a year. Easily. I've done it before. So having that Kindle Unlimited subscription saves me a boatload of money, because if you're paying $5 to $20 for a Kindle book, which happens, one of my authors is $20 for hers, one of my favorite authors, I would go through that so quickly. So I'd rather pay the $13.99 a month or whatever it is. And the Amazon Audible, I use that a lot when I'm working. So I'll put an earbud in, put an audiobook going, and sit down and write an 80-page report. So that's my justification for that. So that was $3,895, which is averaging about $550 a fortnight, which is not too bad. It's not great, but it's not too bad. General spending. Now, this is the one that really, really shocked me. Fast food, $2,423 on fast food. Are you flipping kidding me? Are you kidding me? Nearly $2,500 on fast food in a 3-month period. Now, I must say, fast food is very expensive in Australia. Like, if we were to order delivery, we average on $100. That's how much it generally is, $100 to feed a family of 4 with delivery in regional Australia. It's not cheap. But even then, like, we'll go to McDonald's and each get a meal, and it'll be $60-$70. Same with KFC. We'll go through the drive-through, $60-$70. So if we do that 2 or 3 times a fortnight, it adds up very quickly. And Les and I have to get better at supporting Les more in cooking, because if he is unwell or not feeling well, if I am tired, my default is takeout. Let's just get takeout. And it's got to stop. So what I'm actually doing is I've started meal planning again. This is the first fortnight I'm testing it out, but I'll let you know once I've done it a little bit. I will let you know how it goes and what I'm doing, because it might help you in the future. Gambling, $263. Now, I'm not a feed money into the poker machine type person, but I do enjoy the lotto. So I have an online app called The Lot. It means we can buy like Powerball tickets and like Oz Lotto and things like that. I try and keep a very minimal like fortnightly payment of, I think it's $10, and I get like 2 tickets, one Powerball and one Oz Lotto. But there will be often other times where I will go in, like say for example when that a $20 million or $200 million ticket became available, like I spent some coin to get that 200 million. But it's something that I think I need to reevaluate. And then general spending. So this was just randomly spending. This also might include things that I didn't know what it was for. So if there was a charge there and I didn't know, I just put it into spending. Because if I didn't know what it was, it means it wasn't important enough for me to remember. So I've just chucked it into spending. So $1,766. So that's $4,452 in 3 months on frivolous spending. So that is an average of $636 a fortnight. So $636 a fortnight of our money is just going on to crap, basically. So if you take the debt payment and then the general spending in a 12-month period, that's over $12,000 that we could have just not spent, like that we could have saved. We could be in our own home in a matter of months. And that is just, it's very confronting. It's very heartbreaking, and it's very eye-opening. So that's why it's so important that you take the time to go through your bank statements. Excuse me 1 second. Because I had a tickle in my throat. I had no idea. Now, like I said, in this is Christmas and William's birthday. So that does account for some of the expense. But I had no idea. And I'm someone who, like I said, is comfortable and confident in my budget. And because I got complacent and I got comfortable, look what happened. Nearly $12,000 wasted in a 3-month period. Now, I honestly believe the cost of living is brought this about because things were getting tighter and tighter and tighter, and I didn't understand why. Because like I said, I make a very decent wage. And prior to all of this, we were quite comfortable. I mean, we didn't have money to just throw around frivolously, but we were comfortable. Like at the end of the fortnight, we had money left over. At the moment, I get paid on Wednesday, and by Friday, we're broke. Like, heaven forbid there's an actual emergency that's not a few $100s. Like, I mean, ultimately, if anything like that happened, I could literally empty all my binders, and I'd probably have a couple of $1,000s there for an emergency. But then that's it. We'd be tapped out. There'd be nothing. So the first step is to go through your bank statements. You might actually be surprised at what you find. Now, once you've done this part, you need to add up your income. So do the same thing for your income. Find out how much you're getting and where it's coming from. And then compare the two. Are you earning enough to cover everything? So I'm just going to do a really quick calculation. I'm not going to tell you exactly how much I earn, just because Les would like to keep some things private, and I respect his wishes in that regard. But let me just do a quick calculation. So okay, so you know how I see here I said this was 12, so just the debt payments and the general spending was 12,000. Quick calculation, my income was 15,477. Just really quickly. So we are already 3,000 off being at our max, and we still had 8,000 essential expenses. We do have a little bit more income coming in than that, but the bulk of it was 15,000. So that definitely indicates, considering our essential expenses were only 8,000 and our living expenses are 3,800, right? So that's all you really need. So what's that? That's probably 13,000. So that would have left us with $2,000 left wiggle room if we were budgeting appropriately. So that was very, very eye-opening for me. It was shocking. It was humbling. Like, it put me in my place, because I'm on the internet going through my budget with you, and clearly I had no idea what was going on. So it can be brutal, but it needs to be done. You need to know where your money is going, and then you need to go on to the next step. So before I do finish on that note, because this is rough, like, this is leaving me wide open for some pretty brutal comments, to be honest. I'm expecting them, because this is shocking. It was shocking to me. Like, it made me sit on my ass and think, what the fudge? And it was really upsetting, to be honest. Like, it took me a couple of days to kind of process everything. But I do want to mention that in that time, I also saved $6,200. So that was $3,400 towards my home deposit, and $2,800 in just general cash stuffing. So like, when I was cash stuffing my high and low priority binders and my savings challenges, I saved $2,800. So you do need to highlight your successes as well as your spending, because I'm not going to call them failures, because they're not. This is not a failure. It's not, because it's real life. It's real life. This is what happens. Sometimes you overspend, sometimes you underspend, sometimes your budget needs to change. It's not a failure. It just means you need to recalibrate, dust yourself off, and start again. That's all it means. Or you just need to shuffle things around a little bit, face your priorities, things like that. So don't ever take what I'm telling you as that you're failing, because you're not. You've recognized that there's a problem, and you're taking the steps to fix it. That's not a failure. That's a success as far as I'm concerned. Because I could easily bury my head in the sand and not address this at all. You wouldn't know. No one would know. But I would know. And if there is extra money that I could be using to feed my family or get us into our own home quicker, then that's what I'm going to do, no matter how confronting and how brutal that is. So this is step 1 of Budget Bootcamp. So I hope you come along for the journey. I'm actually thinking about releasing this in like an A5 binder format, so that you can swap packs in and out depending on if you get paid weekly, monthly, or fortnightly. I am going to have this done step by step. So I will have these sheets. If you need this sheet before that's released, please just reach out to me and I will happily email it to you. You can either reach me through Instagram is probably the easiest one, or if you go onto my Etsy store, you can contact me through that. So if you don't have Instagram, you can contact me through my Etsy store. You don't have to buy something just to reach out. If you want to just say hi, say hi. I always welcome contact from you guys. I love hearing from you, and I love learning about you on a more personal level. So reach out at any time. Might take me a little bit depending on if I'm working or not, but and any time differences, but yeah. So if you want this worksheet, there's going to be no charge. When I release it as a whole package, it'll be up on my Etsy store. But if you just want individual worksheets, it's probably not a very good business decision, but I don't want anyone buying things that they don't need to. So just let me know, I will send it to you. So thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. Remember to live, laugh, love, and when life gets hard, just roll it in glitter. Bye.